In all times, people have always thought about how the future would look like. Especially when the Industrial Revolution started. People had wild imagination about the future technology, and today we will take a look at what people thought the future would look like 100 years ago. It is hard to imagine for some people, but years ago kids learned stuff in school only from books. Therefore, a wild idea for the future appeared. Instead of teaching students knowledge from books, we could use a machine that digests books and feeds the information direct to our brains. At least that was a great idea for the society 100 years ago. Personal air balloons seemed to be a must for the future. Although the idea seemed to be logical and safe at the time, of course, that was until the Hindenburg disaster. There were a lot of predictions about flying cars in the past, but flying taxis was predicted by previous century people, and we haven't come remotely close to this at all. The closest thing that we have is maybe like self-driving cars and drones. And to be fair, I don't even think that it could be viable to us. Farming equipment did receive a lot of upgrades at the time, and people were confident that this will continue until the moment that every farm task will be automated and that a single farmer will just be sitting in his chair and pressing the right buttons and let the machines do everything for him. A whale bus was also in the minds of the 20th century people. Basically a whale strapped to a bus so that underwater explorations can happen. Imagine if someone gave this idea in our day and age, then the animal activists would go crazy. And then we have a weather controlling machine that would blow away clouds to stop them from raining in that area. And I'm not quite sure with the usability of this one, because weather is natural and needed for our environment, and I'm pretty sure that the 20th century people understood that. Maybe there was some deeper meaning that the rain was an enemy to the people, and in that time that it was necessary for the future people to stop this annoying rain that pours at the wrong times. And then comes another invention that is to do with weather, city roofs, which again is not going to be pleasant at all for all the landscape that is in the city and the ventilation in it. So where will all that rain go if we put a roof all over the city? It would probably create floods. And how would you clean that roof? Who knows? Apparently people from the past thought that we would be able to move entire towns to another place via train. Although at first I did not understand the meaning behind this. After doing a little bit more research, I know that houses can be moved to other places, but entire towns not yet. This could be useful in places that are in danger of natural disasters. However, towns that are built on trains in the first place sound more pleasing to me. Even 100 years ago, people knew that robot-like machines will replace people in some jobs. 20th century people predicted it to be barbers that would get replaced by hair-cutting machines. And finally, one prediction that certainly came true is video calls. Although illustrated in a different format, similar to the 1920s phones with a video screen on top of them and with huge headphones on the people's heads. Still, good to know that at least one prediction came true. But from this we can learn that the future is definitely unpredictable, and the further we go the more unpredictable it gets. Especially in our digital area, when artificial intelligence is on the rise. I usually tend to not answer questions about how will I see the future in 10, 20 or 100 years, because everything can change in one day. These posters were made from some European gentlemen at the end of the 19th century, and that was their imagination back then. I bet if we made predictions from what will happen in 100 years that we would also make awfully wrong predictions. But maybe we'll get something right, like these guys did. That is, of course, if we have even 100 more years on this earth. But that is a question for another day and another video. And this video idea just randomly came to my head, so my original thought was to do a video on people centuries ago that predicted what would the society look like and how close was their prediction. But I couldn't find any information, so instead I made this video. Anyway, stay safe and God bless.